right. Well, hi everyone. I would love for you to meet my friend Cory. As well as you know, my name is Olia Lagoshina, and my channel is Why Not You, Why Not Now, and it's been inspired by um, the pandemic, actually, initially, because of how many people I met and how many friends I've spoken with about they're feeling insecure in their current, whether it's a job or business. And I decided to interview a few entrepreneurs who are making it happen online without leaving their home. And when Cory and I met recently at a networking event, I found out that she's a single mom of two, a boy and a girl. She's in just north of lives right north of Seattle, Washington, and she's a web designer. She has a much better way of describing what she does, so I will let her actually fill that in. So I would love to ask you, Cory, first of all, kind of share a little bit more about what you do, how you do it, and also a little bit about you, a little bit more of your personal story.
Yeah, okay. So I am a web designer and tech consultant for small business owners, primarily women who are solopreneurs. I came about this because I started my business in November of last year. I knew my marriage was collapsing, so I quickly realized I needed to find a way to support myself, still be home for my kids in the same way, but have a flexible schedule and a way to not only bring income, but be there for my kids as they had been used to for the last 13 years. And then we also love to travel. So I wanted to be able to take my job with me on the road and be able to communicate with people that way. So I looked at a lot of different options and I landed on web design and tech consulting because I had been like a professional volunteer for the last 13 years, and I've done a lot of websites for a lot of organizations in our neighborhood and our PTA and our preschool. And I knew I was getting pretty good at that stuff. And so web design just kind of made the most sense to me. It was a perfect combination of, the design and the front end, making it look good. And then the back end, which is a lot of technical puzzles and just, being very analytical in the way you go about things and making sure everything works together well. So that kind of all made sense. And then I started meeting all these women entrepreneurs who were building businesses out of their passions. And my mind was blown. There's just so many amazing women putting themselves out into the world. And I'm like, you have an amazing thing going here, and I want to help you build it. So I can help them build their business with their website and then helping them get their message out to more and more people. So I'm super excited about that. And that's what I've been focused on. And yeah, it's happening.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's such an inspiration. And you started your business right in the middle of the pandemic. And I know the answer to this question, but some people may not. And you mentioned meeting all these entrepreneurs. So how were you meeting all these entrepreneurs?
A variety of ways, but the best way I've started meeting people was Facebook groups, and I was blown away by the variety and specificity of different groups. There's groups for women entrepreneurs. There's groups for women web designers. There's every kind of group out there. And then networking events. I've been out of the game for 13 years. I just didn't know what was going on out there. And I'm just constantly amazed how women are coming together to support each other and find ways to work together, help each other, and build each other up. It's really exciting.
Yes, and that's why I was asking, because having been out of the kind of the field for 13 years and having, I mean, you were not out because you're a professional volunteer, right? I mean, as a mom, and I can relate to that. but still, it's a learning curve, right? So tell us a little bit about like what have been some of the challenges with you starting out. What are some things that you've had to overcome as a new entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think the biggest hurdle was just realizing I couldn't do it all myself. And when I first started, I'm like, oh yeah, I can just lone wolf this. I can figure every single thing out by myself. And I would get pieces here and pieces there and but then nothing was really coming together well. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of your audience knows about coaching, but I had no idea what coaching was. That was a new concept to me. And I found my mentor and business coach, who I have never invested in myself at all. This is kind of a common theme for me, but now I'm starting to. And I spent a lot of money on myself to join her program, but it was the best decision I ever made. And not only did I get her expertise and guidance along the way, but I met this amazing group of people who have been right there running beside me this whole time and cheering me on. And I do the same for them. So it's been amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, so you've kind of said, so the challenge has been really kind of getting help, right? Asking for help. I think a lot of people, there's this whole term, and I just had a conversation recently with someone else. There's this term in the United States anyway that says, self-made, right? Self-made millionaire or whatever, self-made, somebody's self-made. And, there's really no such thing, because you really cannot you cannot do anything by yourself. You always need help, and you always need, you need other people, whether it's a coach, whether it's, a supportive network. I mean, all of it, supportive network, whether if your relatives or if your friends are not supportive of your business, then you need to find those people who are going to be supportive, and they're out there. You just need to be looking for them. So that's a great point. So then what has been the best part? Like what are some things that you have realized that maybe you didn't before you actually started pursuing this entrepreneurship track? Like what are some surprises that you've had that have been really amazing?
Before I tell you that, I'm going to just kind of go back about 5 years. And I remember going to an author event, and I love reading and all sorts, and going to see these authors speak. And I remember, being in a sold out venue with this woman my age who wrote this bestseller. And I was blown away by her and just what she was able to accomplish. And I came away from that, and I even turned to my friend. I'm like, what have I done lately? And I just felt like I was just in a situation where I'm just going to go home and make dinner now. And that's pretty much all I had to look forward to. But now when I look back, the things that are just lighting me up right now is just, all these things I didn't think were possible back then. Just, I have been able to set a goal and just keep taking steps to get to that goal. And I'm having amazing experiences every day along that path and meeting so many amazing people. And it's just been so eye-opening, all the possibilities out there that I had closed myself off to. So it's just been an amazing experience, every part of it. And just seeing what I've done in 7-8 months, it's just amazing what I've accomplished. And I'm just so excited for the rest of this year and see where I go.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And people are always seem to be the best part about our experiences, our business, whether it's business or any type, like in life in general, right? I mean, we're social beings, and we need to be around people who are supportive and encouraging, and that make us feel like we've accomplished things. So what is your, talking about, you said you're looking forward to the rest of the year, and, what are you most excited about in this coming year? And then also maybe even looking further into the future, maybe like, where would you like to be 5 years from now? I know it's hard to imagine
It
because you're
is.
still kind of
Yeah.
in the middle of the whole, like you're in the startup, and then you have a lot of challenges right now in your life, but it's, that's what it really is, really inspiring to people.
Yeah, just getting through the rest of this year is going to be a challenge. Just hopefully finalizing the divorce in the next, I don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
But seeing past that, I can, and I just see my business growing every month, and that just gives me a lot of hope that I will have that financial freedom, that flexibility to be with my kids and travel and still spend a lot of time with them. And just, yeah, I don't know what 5 years from now will bring, but I just feel I will be stable and I will be happy. And that's what I'm really excited about.
Fantastic. Well, so you mentioned, I'd always love to share resources with people that, that help other business owners potentially, in their businesses. So, you mentioned that your coach, and, what is her name? Obviously she's helped you a ton. So
Yeah,
I would be, more than happy to help promote
absolutely.
her as well.
Yes, her name is Shannon Mattern, and she has a 5-day website challenge that she gives away for free. And so if you are thinking you want to just try the DIY route yourself, it's a great way to get started with a WordPress website and to build your confidence that it's just following directions and pointing and clicking and going through and making it look the way you want. It's an intensive process, but many people have built these beautiful, amazing websites that they've gone on to build amazing businesses with. So I totally recommend Shannon Mattern's website.
Fantastic. And then, what are some other tools that are helping you in your business? And then also, I guess let's continue with tools, and then I'll, ask you a couple more questions.
Yeah, so like technical tools.
Yeah, like apps, or, anything like Calendly, like, for example, for me,
Right.
Calendly is such a lifesaver because it really takes out all that back and forth trying to schedule a meeting,
Agree. Yeah. For me, it's Acuity scheduling is my what I love to use. And just exactly what you just said. You can do a lot of automated emails with that, forms, payments. That's just amazing. And it's worth every penny. And what else I had? Oh, MailerLite, is my email program, and it's fairly inexpensive. And you can send automated emails out to your list and then nurture your list that way. And it's just a really nice, has so many great features about it.
MailerLite, you said?
That's what I use. Yeah.
Sure.
And it's pretty inexpensive too.
Yeah, maybe we can include the resources in the
Absolutely.
notes as well, so people can check them out. And then what are some books that you've recently read that have been really eye-opening for you?
I'm surrounded by books all the time, but I think the book that really helped set me free and just seeing that there's a different way was Glennon Doyle's book, Untamed. And that was a game changer for me last summer, I think, is when I read that. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's actually on my list, but I haven't. Yeah, I have so many books on my wish list, and I do Audible a lot. So, but
oh yeah, it's a perfect one for Audible. Yeah, because she reads it and it's just, yes, you need to hear that one. It's great.
Yes, and you're right. Yeah, some books you actually, like I read Michelle Obama's book, or I listened to Michelle Obama's book. Like you had to listen to it. I think
Exactly.
there are books that you absolutely have to listen to, and then there are others who may be better read.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure. But yes, so Untamed, that's fantastic. So do you have, what advice would you give to someone, as we're sort of closing up, what advice would you give someone who is sort of on that verge of they have a dream, they have something that they've been really wanting to start, whatever, whether it's a business or a project or, a side gig or anything like that, what advice would you give to someone who's in that situation?
Hmm. I think just little steps and just doing the next right thing, whether that be research, whether it be reaching out to someone, even if it just seems like a tiny little step, just take that step and see where it goes, and take the next step and just keep walking towards your dreams, because I think a lot of us get stuck kind of just looking, or, for that, like looking far away and not making any progress towards our goals. But even if you just take a little tiny step forward, you'll get that momentum going, and it's super exciting. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Action, right? Taking action is
Yep.
what makes a difference. Thinking about it won't.
Yeah, I have something here on my computer. It says action breeds confidence. So
Yes.
that's what it is. You just got to keep doing things.
Yes. And confidence really is what you need to continue on the journey, right? I mean, it's sort of like chicken and egg. Like, you need confidence to start, but you need to take action to become confident.
Exactly.
So they're interdependent, and you have to take that step and make that leap of faith, you don't need to invest millions of dollars. You can just take a step, each day, right? And do it consistently.
Yeah. That's
fantastic. So how would our audience reach you? What's the best way to get a hold of you if they want to reach out for, whether it's a website or some advice on, on the startup or anything else?
Yeah. Well, my website is https meadowlark.tech. So it's meadowlark like the bird, and then .tech. Yeah. And there's plenty of ways to get in touch with me there. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Well, we'll also put those links in the notes. So, well, thank you so much, Cory. It was so lovely to chat with you. And you are, one of the reasons I invited you. I mean, I invite people who are inspirational and who really have something of value to share. And even though we haven't known each other that long, this is our third time talking. So I didn't even hear your whole story before, but I just had a feeling that this would be a really great conversation, and you'll have some really real value to share with our audience. So thank you so much for your time.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, Olia.
And yes, and I look forward to staying in touch and meeting you in person one day.
I would love that. That sounds fantastic.
Okay, well, thank you, and we'll